Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have another Brija Cosmetics preview of a new line that they're about to come out with, and this one is inspired by Stranger Things. Now, if you had said Stranger Things to me last year, I probably would have just been like, okay, no big deal, because I didn't actually watch it when the first season released. It was something I always wanted to watch, and it was always in my kind of, you know, my list, my to watch list on Netflix, but I just never got around to watching it. I finally sat down and was like, I just need to watch the first episode and see if I like it. And of course, then I spent the entire weekend binge watching the first season, and then the entire next week binge watching the second season. So needless to say, I totally understand what all the hype is about. The show is amazing, and if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. So Brija Cosmetics, as you've seen, I have like the Harry Potter collection with them. And they have other ones like Gilmore Girls. They love to do inspired by collections, and they're always a lot of fun. My favorite part is the names that the owner comes up with. She's so creative, and the names are always really cute and adorable. They're a nice nod to the show or the theme or whatever it is. So this release is for Stranger Things. It's going to release on December 3rd, which is this Sunday, and it'll be sold as a collection, or you can buy the shadows individually. These are kind of the jar style loose shadows. So they do come in two sizes. They have the mini jar sized and the full 5-gram jar size. So just so you can get an idea side by side, I know I showed you guys this last time, but you definitely don't get as much product with the mini jar because it's not even all the way full. And you definitely get a nice full jar here. Plus, when you order the full-size jar, you get the custom label artwork. And this time they haven't shown us a preview yet of what the Stranger Things artwork is going to look like, so I'm really excited to see that. You can always buy the artwork stickers separately if you just choose to get a couple of the little jars. But then, like I said, they do also have the collection as a whole. So I will have the website linked down below. And as soon as the collection goes live, I'll put the direct link to that on there so that you can check it out. So let me go ahead and show the eyeshadows to you. Now, if you watched the last video I did on the Brija Cosmetics Fall Witches collection, you know that I get sample packets of the product ahead of time. So I get these little packets right here. So this is not what you would get. You would get the cool little jar with the label on it, but this kind of gives you an idea of the array of colors. And I will do some swatches, of course, but what I wanted to point out that's really cool about this collection is there are it's almost like a dual line. So they've done 7 fun, kind of colorful, shimmery shadows, and then 7 completely matte shadows that can double as blushes. And I'm actually wearing one of them as a blush today. And if you saw my Instagram post on Thanksgiving, the shadows and the blush that I was wearing in that photo were all from the Stranger Things collection as well. So that can kind of give you an idea of a different look. But these shadows are a lot of fun. And I'm probably going to do another look right before the launch, because there were a couple of combinations I really wanted to do, and I was trying to decide what to do for this video, and I really just wanted to use this blue. Let me show you some swatches so you can see what these colors actually look like. All right, not sure why I kind of started so far down. I'm just gonna make myself have to hold my arm up higher this whole time, but whatever. Okay, so starting here at the top, this is Eggo. This is just like a really cool kind of yellowy brown color, perfect for transition. So next up, you'll see a lot of these. Where is it? There we go. You'll see a lot of these are, like I said, perfect for blush tones, and this is what they're supposed to be. They're a dual eyeshadow and blush. So this shade is Still Pretty. This is I'm Chill. This is Coffee and Contemplation. This one is She's Our Friend and She's Crazy. This one is I've Left the Country. And this last one is Mouth Breather. This one's a really cool, kind of almost purpley toned one. It's very unique. I like it a lot. So all of these are formulated to where you could use them as an eyeshadow or a blush. Obviously you notice there's a lot of kind of pink shades in here. So depending on your skin tone, one might work better for you than another for a blush. I've actually used, I think, these 3 as a blush so far, and on different occasions. Obviously with the darker ones, for me personally, I just have to be a little bit more light-handed, but you get a lot of good range of colors. The other thing about them is they're all lip safe. So if you wanted to mix them with like a clear gloss, or Brija does sell like a mixer so that you can make kind of like what their cream wand lipstick feels like, but you can make your own custom color. You could do that with any of these shades. So, you know, some of these would be really gorgeous. And they actually do have a shade that's very similar to this called Starboard. Starboard. It's the Titanic collection. But that's a really pretty color. So, all right, let's do the shimmer side. All right, so for the shimmers, I really wanted to make sure you got a good feel for what these colors looked like depending on how you used them, because you know me, I'm always a big fan of using shimmers with a wet brush. I feel like you get a really good impact that way. That's what I did here with the blue. So I decided to do a finger swatch just like I did with the other one. I've been using my pinky, which strangely looks really big when I swatch. But then I also wet a brush and did a swatch next to it so you could see the difference between dry and wet. So on some of them, there's not a big difference. On some of them, it's a big difference. So let's go ahead and look at the swatches. And again, I swatched all funky. All right, so starting off right here, this first shade is Sensory Deprivation. This one definitely can be built up easily on the dry side, but really wet is probably the best way to go for a fast impact. And it's just a gorgeous, like bright, shimmery neon green. It's just really pretty. This one, hilarious name coming up. This one is such a great name. This one is called Winona Ryder's Tears. That name is just hilarious. I can't help it. So here is dry, here is wet. I used it wet today. As you can see, it still has a nice impact dry, but again, it builds faster when it's wet. Here's one of the first ones where you really see a good difference. So this one is Holly Jolly, and this is the one I wore on Thanksgiving in my Instagram shot. So here is a nice big dry swatch right there, and then this is what it looks like when you use it wet. It's just got a really, you know, nice impact. I mean, the color doesn't change too much, but just the impact of it is just more substantial. Another one similar where like the color gets darker or more intense with a wet brush is this one right here, which is You're Gonna Be So Cool Now. So this is the dry part and this is the wet swatch. So you can see how much more intense it is wet, but this is a gorgeous wash of this beautiful shimmery fuchsia purple color. Another purple, this is a more cool toned, deeper purple. This one is Should I Stay or Should I Go? I personally love the way this looks dry. This to me is a beautiful all over the lid shade. And then this is just a gorgeous amped up shade, maybe perfect for the lash line or something. All right, down here are probably two of my favorite colors. This one is called the Upside Down. It's just kind of like a bluish, silverish, shifty color. It's very beautiful. Obviously more intense when it's wet, but it's gorgeous dry. And last but not least right here is the shade Demogorgon. And this one again is another beautiful dry or wet, but look how intense that gets when it's wet. So, all right, so here are all of your shimmer shades swatched dry and wet. These are some gorgeous shadows. I mean, they really are. So I did obviously do this eye tutorial so you could see some of the shadows in action. So let's go ahead and get into that so you can see how these shadows work.
First color is She's Our Friend and She's Crazy, and I'm using this on a fluffy brush just to go all through the crease and a little bit on the outer V as well. Next color is I've Left the Country, and I'm using the same fluffy brush and just focusing this more on the outer half of the eye and sweeping it through the crease mostly on the outer half as well. Now I'm taking a flat brush and spraying it with some setting spray and then going into the shade Winona Ryder's Tears. And this I am placing all over the inner half of the lid, and I'm doing kind of two layers just to make sure the color really stands out. Then I'm using the brush to kind of flip back and forth between the clean side and the side with color on it just to kind of blend where the two colors meet. Now I'm taking the shade Demogorgon on a flat angled brush, again wet with setting spray, and I'm using this to line the lower lash line. And I did go ahead and do two layers of it just to really make sure the color stood out. Now going back into I've Left the Country, and I'm using a flat fluffy brush to just smoke out the color on the lower lash line and connect it with the outer V. Now I'm using the ESPN highlight from the Brija Mean Girls collection as an inner corner highlight, just since there wasn't a light bright color in the collection. And then with my Tarte Tarteist double-ended liner, I am just doing a nice black wing. For the waterline, I'm using one of the Stila liners in the shade Ladyfish. Now just giving the lashes a good curl and then adding 2 coats of my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. And of course adding that to the lower lash line as well.
All right guys, so this is the finished look. I did want to point out that I did use one of the shadows, I'm Chill, as my blush. I just didn't do it on camera, partially because I forgot. But I did use this shade right here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, review, swatches, demo tutorial. I do enjoy filming these, they're a lot of fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and thank you for watching. Bye guys.